Hi everybody, another quick video for you. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk a little bit about my setup with you today because I know it's taken me a long time to get to a setup where I'm largely happy. I say largely happy because there's always more I want to change until I own an actual Airbus A320. There's always going to be things I want to change, and even when I do, I'm going to want to own an A380. So I'll never be happy. But enough about my life problems. So we're going to be talking a little bit today just about my setup. First thing I'm going to tackle is the thing you can pretty obviously see, which is the screen moving like that, which is my head tracking. So it's a bunch of head tracking software out there, and I thought long and hard about it before I made any decisions. Whether I change to something else later is another question. But I'm using some software here, and this is really interesting. If I just pause this a second here, it's a really great bit of software called Smoothtrack, which you can get on your iPhone. So I've got nothing attached to my head. I'm not wearing hats or equipment. I'm just using my iPhone, pointing that at my face. It's recognizing my face. I can very easily calibrate it by going into options and output and moving myself left, right, up, down, adjust the yaw, pitch, roll, etc. So I can be looking where I want to be. Just keep those things open. It does eat your battery on your iPhone fairly quickly, so make sure you've got a power cable nearby. But that enables me to look around. I'm just freely looking here. I'm just moving my head. That's it. I can look all around the cockpit. I can lean forward and look over the edge if I want to, see what's going on. Check out what's going on over there in Croatia. And it's really powerful. It's a fantastic tool. So if you're looking for head tracking, I'd recommend picking that up from the App Store, getting the software on your computer, and you're away. Next, I was going to talk about my screen setup. So my graphics card can only handle 4 screens. I say only, that's not bad, but I have my main screen here, right? So that's where you'll see across the majority of the screen here is my main view, where I'm looking and I'm keeping track of everything. Up the top right, you'll see another monitor I have above my main monitor, which is showing my my overhead. I may get around to buying an overhead panel at some point, but I can't find one that I'm happy with both the price and the functionality at the moment. So we'll come back to that on another day. For now, I'm using a screen, a monitor. On the left of my screen, and you'll see at the top left, I have any software I've got open. So I have VATSIM on the left because this is a VATSIM flight. Most of what I do is on the VATSIM network, so I can track where I am at the moment. As you can see, coming up the Adriatic just into northern Italy, that's me in the blue. I can talk about VATSIM in another video if you'd like. We'll probably dig into that a little bit. And my connection up the top right there on that screen is vPilot, which keeps me connected to the VATSIM network. Bottom right is my Merlin software, which is tracking my flight with the BA virtual airline that I'm a member of, so as I can log my my flight afterwards. And in the bottom middle there is FSFO, which is Flight Sim First Officer. So I think the VATSIM Radar window on the left is fairly obvious. vPilot, you connect to the VATSIM network through that, and that enables you to talk to all the real life ATCs out there. Bottom right, as I say, tracking for Merlin for my actual airway, and in the bottom middle, Flight Simulator First Officer. So you don't get there's a few of these out there on the market. You don't get an actual first officer sitting there, but you do get the ability to completely customize everything that the first officer does on your plane. So you will see buttons being flicked, and but you don't have to have the first officer do it. So I'll do a separate video on this, but that enables me when I'm when I've got a lot going on, preparing for takeoff or preparing for landing, it enables me to have the first officer pick up a few things for me, which I find really nice and useful, just to take a bit of weight off me. You can have the first officer do a ton of stuff. You can have it do almost nothing. You can have it just read checklists out for you and make sure you're doing all the flying. It's really customizable, very powerful, a little bit glitchy in a couple of places, but nothing major, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. So I'd recommend that platform as well, but we'll have a separate look at that. Coming back to my screen setup, my fourth screen, underneath my monitor, I have, you can see them on my main screen here, the PFD and the ND. I have popped out onto a second small monitor under my screen, so I've always got them in sight, which is really helpful. Now, ideally, I also want my upper and lower ECAM on a screen. Over here, I want those two screens on another screen, but I can only have 4 monitors and I've used them all. I also want my EFB on a screen, but again, I've used them all. So what am I doing for that? Well, because I'm flying the Fenix, I can actually go to a dedicated address, IP address online, and have the EFB show on an iPad. So I have an iPad on my desk, which has the EFB on it. So therefore, it just works fully touchscreen like an iPad does, of course. And I can run my EFB entirely on my actual physical desk on my physical iPad, which is incredible. So I love that experience, and that's all credit to the Fenix guys for building that functionality. With the eCams, I use a bit of software here called Spacedesk. So Spacedesk is an app for the iPad and an app for the computer, and that enables you to run it and stream effectively another screen. So you log into Spacedesk, you open the app up on your iPad, log into that, it'll effectively pop up on your computer as another screen. You've got 5 screens then, and so I'm running my upper and lower ECAM also. So that, alongside my hardware setup, which has my side stick from Thrustmaster, and it has my thrust, flaps, engines, landing gear, parking brakes, etc., also from Thrustmaster, which is fantastic. And then I have an MCDU here from Winwing, and I do recommend that. Their website looks a bit scammy. Their delivery process doesn't look great. I was concerned about it when I spent a bit of money on it and hoped it would arrive, but it did arrive, and it's a really solid bit of technology, to the point where I've just gone and bought the FCU and EFIS from Winwing as well, and I'm waiting for them to arrive. So yeah, I would have a look at Winwing if you've got a bit of money and you're happy to spend it on some hardware for your flight sim, and if you're not, then you're probably in the wrong hobby, to be honest. But if you're happy to, then their Winwing equipment seems to be fantastic. Again, trust in it. It looks bad. Their marketing is bad, but their equipment is phenomenal. So so the MCD is great. So I'll do some separate videos on all these bits, on the Fenix, on my monitor setups, on some of this software, on the MCDU, on the Thrustmasters, all this stuff, on the head tracking. I'll look at all of it. But I just wanted to do a quick video to talk you through roughly how I'm set up and how this works really smoothly and really well on flights. And if you've got any questions on any of those bits, drop it in the comments, and I will. I'll come back to you. And if you want me to do a video on any of those bits sooner rather than later, I'll get on with that for you. Happy flying. I'll see you on the next video.